Ali Zafer Sağıroğlu is the Director of Migration Policy Centre at the Ankara Yıldırım Bayezid University, and he joins us now live from the Turkish capital. Good to see you this morning, sir. Yet another tragedy at sea, hundreds of lives lost. Is enough being done to stop these people traffickers?
Yes, it will probably be recorded as one of the worst ones so far. Actually, many things that should be to do, to stop such a tragedies in Mediterranean. Time to time, we are always talking about these catastrophes, which has happened in the middle of the world. But the responsibilities, I think, is not just can be burdened on one authority or one state. Actually, this is the sake of all countries, mainly in Europe. So the world should be much more awake about this tragedy, I think.
And tell me, do you think the criticism this morning of the Greek Coast Guard and authorities is justified?
Yes, there are many news about such a unreluctant behavior of the Greek safeguards in the Mediterranean. Many pushbacks happened, as we know. Many reports indicate such a pushback behaviors of the guards of the Greek. However, this is not only the burden of the Greek state. As you know, last year the CEO or the director of the Frontex were resigned because there are some news about irresponsibilities about these tragedies. So European states or European actors had give up to just stop these flows through the Europe, but they must do something more to save life in Mediterranean and around Europe.
So there have been 20,000 reported deaths and disappearances in the Mediterranean since 2014, and yet people still keep making journeys on boats that are being described this morning as floating coffins. Will migrants just keep taking the gamble and the risking their lives?
Exactly. The literature about this issue, security measurement just counts to much more death instead of to stop the flows of the people. By taking much more severe security measurements, you cannot stop the movement of the people. Maybe in the short terms, but in the long terms, the indicators shows us that this measurement is not working very well. So you should keep much more long-term measurements about this issue. The first half of this year's missing in the Mediterranean reached to the 100,000 people. It shows another tendency, rising tendency in this year. So, you cannot stop the people by taking such a measurements in the Mediterranean. Maybe it leads to much more death or missing cases in this episode.
Ali Zafer Sağıroğlu joining us live from Ankara Yıldırım Bayezid University. Thanks for your insight.